Hi, my name is Caleb. I am a flight attendant based here in Montreal, Canada. If this is your first time watching my vlog, welcome and thank you. So today I wanted to make a list of the pros and cons of being a flight attendant, just to help people decide if you are thinking about joining this industry. I just wanted to share my personal experience, my personal opinion with others to help you make your decision. So let's just jump right into it. I want to start with the positive. So I'm going to talk about the pro for me of being a flight attendant. Number one, I love the fact that I can live anywhere and still be a flight attendant. What do I mean by that? I'm currently based here in Montreal, Canada. For example, if I decide to move to Ottawa, if I decide to move to Toronto, Ontario, I can still, as long as I can commute for my trips, it doesn't matter pretty much where I live. I could move to New York City, I could move to Washington. Once you are awarded a base, they just want to make sure that once you have your schedule, you show up for work, or if you are on call on reserve, that if they call you, that you can go to the airport. So to me, the fact that I can live anywhere and still commute for work, to me, that's like a big pro. Number two, we're gonna talk about the flexible work schedule. And this is the first job that I've ever had in my entire life where in a month I could have 12, 13 days off. I've never had any job that offered me that many days off. And when you do your schedule every single week, you choose which day I want off. I want Tuesday, Wednesday, I want Thursday, Friday. So what you have to do, especially if you are new in this industry, choosing Saturday, Sunday off, and you are brand new, the chances of you having that off is gonna be slim to none. So what I do, because I know my seniority is not high enough, so I usually pick days I know I am able to hold, and 80 to 90% of the time I'm able to have the days off in the week that I want, because I prefer to be off in the week anyway, and I like working in the weekends because for me, doing things like going to the gym, grocery shopping, I prefer to do them during the week, because on the weekend everyone that's working a typical 9 to 5 job is off, and when you go to the grocery store, to the gym, it's packed with people. I don't like that. I prefer to work the opposite way and just be off during the week and then work on the weekends. For now, it's working for me. Number three, another pro for me of being a flight attendant, I love the fact that I get to meet, when it comes to passenger, I get to meet different people of different race, different background, and I just love meeting new people all the time. And number four for me, I love the fact that I have a huge discount when it comes to flying. Flying within Canada is super expensive, so I feel very blessed that I'm able to travel. If I have 5 days off now, I want to go to Miami, I want to go to Orlando, I want to go to Paris. Uh, Traveling for me is not expensive, so I feel very blessed. To me, that's a big pro of being a flight attendant, is just the ticket. I don't have to worry too much about the price. And number five, and you get to work with different crew every single trip. I love the fact that whenever I show up for work, it's gonna be people of different background, different nationality than me, and it could be I'm working with someone that's 50 years old. I could be working for someone that's 21. It's just the crew is never the same. So I love the fact that I get to you get to make new friends every time. Another bonus for me of pro, I love the fact that when I travel to, if I go to Greece, if I go to Casablanca, Tel Aviv, I get to stay at very nice hotel and I don't have to pay for it. To me, I always feel like I'm on vacation. I always feel like on vacation. I'm always happy. To me, that's a big pro of being a flight attendant. This is, for the time being, based on my personal experience, this is what I could think at the moment. If it changes, if there's more things that I love about the job, maybe I'll make another video. So now we're gonna talk about the things I dislike and the not so fun things of being a flight attendant. And then if you're still watching, stick around. Right, so now we're gonna talk about the cons of being a flight attendant. Again, this is my personal experience and my personal opinion. It's not the same for everyone. To me, I didn't like the fact that the first year I was on reserve. So, one thing to remember that when you join this industry, and there is a chance that your first or second year you might be on reserve, depending if the base that you are awarded, if it's a big base, if they are hiring new people, if they don't hire often. So there's a chance you might be on reserves. My first flight ever was January 2nd, 2019. I remember crew scheduling called me the night before to say my first flight was Montreal to Orlando. And I remember them, it was a Airbus 319. I remember them calling me to say you have a flight going to Orlando, and I was like super excited. But the first few months was very hard for me because it was winter and I didn't have a car at that time. And winter is very harsh in Canada. It's just, and I was on probation at that time too. It's just, I remember every single time crew scheduling will call me at 3 or 4 in the morning. I would be so nervous. I would have to pick an Uber. It's just, the first year is gonna be tough. But again, if you love the job, you're gonna make it through. You just have to prepare yourself mentally in case you are not giving a schedule. And number two for me is the jet lag. I do. I feel very blessed to be able to go to Paris, to be able to go to London, to go to Casablanca, all these amazing places I get to travel with my company. But to me, because I am on Eastern time zone, I'm still trying to find a way to make my body go to sleep. But I have a hard time adjusting to the jet lag because when I go to Paris, it's 6 hours different. So many times I find it's hard to sleep, and that's one thing that I dislike about the job. The job is just the jet lag. Number three, a con of being a flight attendant is missing holidays, birthday, family gatherings. Unfortunately, uh, this industry, everything in this industry is seniority, and people that's been working there 15, 20 years, they pave their ways, so they have all Christmas off, Thanksgiving, all those holiday, they have them off. If you are brand new, if this is your first year, so you will be working at least for the first 5 years. Most likely you will be working every Christmas. It's not bad, but it's just I just want you to prepare yourself mentally, and if you are okay to miss birthday, and you might have, well, luckily now with technology, with FaceTime, Christmas, if I can FaceTime with my family and still wish them Merry Christmas. I can FaceTime my family on New Year's to tell them I love them. So it's not so bad. But just picture 10 years ago, 15 years ago, technology was not what it is today. You didn't have access to FaceTime your family. So if you are traveling and your seniority is low, you just miss Christmas. But it's not that bad. It's just the first few years in the job, it's tough. Again, if you love this industry, it shall pass. You just have to be patient. And this is a big one. Okay, so the pay. Let's talk about the pay. So the pay is low the first few years. So honestly, if you have a car payment, if you have mortgage, a student loan, and this is your only job, you're gonna struggle. So most people that I know that work in this industry, they have a second job, they have a side hustle that they do. So I highly recommend, please, it's either you live with a roommate, if your first year in this industry, if you don't like living with people, if you just want your personal space, you want to try to minimize your expenses as much as possible. Trying to find the lowest rate possible, trying to find, if you have a car, make if it's not paid, make sure that you get your car payment is super low because you don't make um, that much money in the beginning. Part of the reason you don't make that much money because there's a possibility, as I said, you could be on reserve. And if you're on reserve, they don't call you as much. It's mean you're not flying as much, even though you have a minimum guaranteed hours every single month. If you're not flying as much, you're not getting per diem, and this is money you're losing. So you don't want to you want to minimize your expenses as much as possible, so that way once you 1 2 years you start getting a line, you start getting trip, then you're making a little bit more money. So the pay is not the best in the beginning. And to me, another thing that I dislike about being a flight attendant is I don't like delay. I don't like delay for 1 minute. I don't like delay for 5 minutes, because I am not paid for the delay, and boarding can be very stressful sometimes, because to me it's just delay and boarding. Both of them we are not paid. We are not paid for them, and whenever I go to work, I always pray that everything goes well. It's a plane. Nothing is perfect, you know. It's like having a car, you know. Every single day you drive your car, but there's one day you're gonna start this car and then boom, something happened and you have to take it to a mechanic. It's kind of similar with a plane, you know. Sometimes they have pieces and something happened, they need to call maintenance. It's things that are out of our control, and we are not paid for that. But it's one another thing I dislike about being a flight attendant. But to be honest, regardless of all the cons on this list, I absolutely love my job. This is the I feel like I've been the happiest version of myself with this job. I've been the happiest person with this job. I feel very blessed to be able being to travel to so many places with my company and my colleague, and you just get to meet so many great people. To me, the pros outweighs the con, and everything that I mentioned, some of the con, especially like missing holidays, within 5-10 years in this industry, my seniority will go up, and then I'm going to be able to have Christmas off. And it's just for now, it's a con for me, but over time it's not going to become a con anymore, and I will be able to have the trip. But for now it's a con. But other than that, I truly love my job. I cannot see myself for the time being doing something else. You know, as people, as human, we evolve. I don't know in 5 years, 10 years from now how I'm gonna feel, but I know in this present moment, and if I'm looking for the next 5 years, I still see myself working in this industry. So I'm just gonna go with the flow and continue to meet great people, continue to vlog and share my experience with you. And that's it. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead, give it a big fat thumbs up, and subscribe for more flight attendant adventure, and I'll catch you and I'll see you later. Oh, just singing,